Vehicles with different mechanics have been a staple of the game since the very beginning. We started with just the cube and the ship, but over the years we've been introduced to the ball, UFO, wave, robot, and spider. Each one adds brand new elements of gameplay that change Geometry Dash forever. Some of them have less impact than others, like if you compare the spider to the wave, but each one is special and unique in its own way. With the 2.2 update slowly getting closer and the swing game mode that will come with it, we have to ask the question, what is the future of game modes in Geometry Dash? As more and more game modes are added, it becomes more and more difficult to make each one truly unique. I've got to give Roptop credit. Nobody expected the wave and the robot, and each of them added so much to the game. But when he adds something like the spider that's just like a different ball, I start to wonder whether he's running out of ideas for new vehicles. The issue with one-button gameplay is that there doesn't seem to be much room for innovation. Generally speaking, clicking the screen affects one of two variables depending on the game mode: velocity and acceleration. The best way to illustrate this is by comparing the wave to the ship. With the wave, clicking affects the velocity. Hold the mouse and the wave has a constant positive velocity, so it'll go straight up. Release and it will go down at a constant negative velocity. It doesn't speed up or slow down, it's always going at the same speed. But with the ship, the speed isn't always the same. Depending on how long you hold, you're going to go up or down, faster or slower. This is because the ship controls acceleration rather than velocity. When holding the mouse, the ship has a constant positive acceleration, so it'll start going faster and faster, and it's the same with releasing and going down. The cube and the robot are the only game modes that affect both velocity and acceleration. If you're wondering how, I go over all of it in more detail in my video about the swing game mode. Anyways, this small number of variables, combined with the one-button gameplay, limits the potential for new game modes. If we want more, we're going to need to get creative. Here, I'll go over a few game mode ideas that people have proposed. The first one is quite well known. In fact, it's what a lot of people seem to believe the swing game mode will be. It essentially acts like there are purple dash orbs everywhere on the screen. You hold down to go straight, and release to switch gravity. This is certainly a unique mechanic, but I worry that too many of the gameplay sections would just look the same. I mean, how different from Flappy Bird style obstacles could you get? The next idea was proposed by Radley McToonston, well-known icon artist and Maurice enthusiast. This game mode doesn't go up or down at all. Rather, whether or not you're holding down the button affects which type of obstacles you can or can't pass through unharmed. Alternatively, it could be the same thing, but holding the mouse or letting go makes you go up or down respectively at a small angle, like a less intense wave. The next idea was proposed by JG Ultra, and this is one of my favorites. It's called the coil, and it works like this. You slide along the floor, and you can hold down to compress your springs. When you release, you jump up high depending on how long you held down the mouse, reaching potentially astronomical heights. The last idea is my own, inspired by Cranky Kong in the game Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. You go along automatically jumping. You hold down to rapidly fall to the ground, and then you jump up even higher depending on how long you held. These are just 4 of the many ideas I'm sure are out there, and it proves just how much potential there actually is. Roptop has confirmed that there will be more game modes after the swing, and only time will tell what we'll see. There's also the subject of platformer mode. Since players will be able to go freely left and right independent of the vehicle's unique controls, new opportunities will inevitably arise. Roptop said he's already considering adding a platformer mode exclusive game mode, the details of which are unknown except for some concept art he's shown us. Based on the appearance of this mode, my only guess is that you can hop around left or right, and pick things up or interact with objects in other ways. Another variable when considering game modes is the status of the ceiling. At the moment, only 2 of the 7 game modes have limited heights, meaning every other game mode has a permanent ceiling. It's debatable how important this is, but it might be nice to see more of a balance. We can also consider whether hold time affects the gameplay. With the cube, for example, one click does one thing, same for the ball, UFO, and spider. But with the ship, wave, and robot modes, holding down for different amounts of time affects your position differently. It's slightly off balance right now, and the swing will only increase this ratio. Finally, we have a much less significant thing, the color of the portals. We already have red, orange, green, blue, purple, pink, and gray, and most people assume that the swing portal will be yellow. How many more colors are unique enough for this? Black and brown would be my first guesses, but again, we'll just have to wait and see. Still, there's one aspect of all game modes that I've yet to talk about, and that's the mini portal. Every game mode has a mini equivalent that's either more difficult to control or just has smaller movements. What other mechanics could be added to the game that use this idea? The most obvious answer is the opposite of mini, giant. Every game mode could have a larger equivalent that makes larger or more subtle movements. I'm not personally a fan of this idea, as it feels like it might just slow down the pace of Geometry Dash, and seeing these giant icons on screen just wouldn't feel right when we're used to smaller sizes. But I'm always open to new ideas, so let me know down in the comments whether you think a giant portal would be fun. Though we can also get more creative, like with the dual portal. Before it was added in Update 1.8, who would have guessed this would be a thing? It's a really unique idea, and I'm curious to see if we'll see anything like it again. These different game modes and mechanics are part of the reason Geometry Dash is such a special game. It's really amazing what can be done with one-button gameplay, and I can't wait to see what else will be added to the table. If you have any ideas, let me know down in the comments. I'm very curious to see what you all think of this topic. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe to stay updated with my content. My name is Irma, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye bye!